to talk about distractions. So, this is day 4 of purpose, and oh my goodness. Like, when I said distractions were going to start coming when you start getting focused, no joke. Like, it's so crazy how the distractions have been the last few days. And it's, I mean, I knew it was coming, but I had no idea that the adversary was going to pull out all the stops. Like, it's crazy. I got, all right. So I guess we need to tell the truth and shame the devil. Because I feel like if I'm struggling, if I'm going through something, if there's something that, I'm having a hard time with or that I'm going through right now while I'm focusing on my purpose, then I can't be the only one. So if I can't be the only one, then I need to make sure that I tell the truth and shame the devil. Like my pastor always says, I need to make sure that I am being honest about where I am, what's going on, because, sometimes when people do these videos, when they say they're going to be in purpose, when they say they're doing things in their life, what they'll do is they'll make it seem like it's all peaches and cream. They'll make it seem like, oh, it's easy peasy, and they never run into any struggles, that they just became a millionaire overnight, or whatever else it is. And my goal is to help people. If I get money from it, that will be just an extra blessing. That'll be a bonus on top of being able to serve and be intentional in my life. I really do want to be I want to be as helpful as I can in any way that I can and allow God to use me however He sees fit. So God might say, oh, yeah, I want you to serve. I want you to do these things. The lighting is so weird, but it's because I'm in the front room. I just came back from exercising, so excuse all of this. So that's why I have my hat on. That's why I have my hair in 2 braids. I usually put my hair in braids when I go walking or when I go to exercise. So today I just walked down to the beach and I did, some I did squats, I did kickbacks, step ups, I did some ab exercises, standing ab exercises, and then I did a 10-minute walk to and from, just to get the endorphins flowing, to get my heart rate up, to, start. Because usually, like when you're exercising, you always want to, if you're doing legs, you want to activate your legs. If you're doing arms, you want to activate your arms, or whatever else it is. You want to do something to get that part of your body like alert, to get it like jolted or whatever. And then once you do that, that'll be the muscle or the things that you focus on. So I wanted to focus on abs and legs today because it's Saturday. So usually on Saturdays, I just do a free for all. I do swimming or I do a class that's exercising or I walk down to the beach. And usually, like the one video that you saw me do, I will be walking in, and walk back out or whatever else. So that's what I usually do. So I'm gonna say this, and at first I didn't want to share this because I didn't want this to be an excuse for the reason why I didn't focus or the reason why I didn't. So yesterday when it was time to do my live, I missed my live. And I was gonna put on there what was going on. I was like, no, I can handle everything. I can do it all. And I really should have given myself the grace or, the time that I needed. And sometimes we don't extend the same grace that God gives us to ourselves. Like I could be so hard on myself saying, well, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, or whatever else. And God forgot about all the things that I did wrong a long time ago, But I'm the one that's like making it harder on myself. And so yesterday, I'm gonna try not to cry. Yesterday, I laid someone very close to me to rest. Um, I guess I could say who the person is, and because not a lot of people that I know watch this video. And so, my grandfather, who has been there my entire life, who I live like so close to, we we laid him to rest yesterday, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I can do the funeral. I can, do the viewing, do the funeral. I can spend time with family, and then I can just go home and hop on a video at 8:45, and I'll be fine. But during the service, I was good. Everything was fine because I understand to be absent with the body is to be present with the Lord. not only that, but I know that like a lot of the things that he was going through, that he's better now, you know. So it's not like, oof, it's not like I'm losing anything, you know. I have so many memories. God blessed me with so much time with him, you know. But after the funeral, I wanted to be around family and friends. And so I spent a lot of time just there. And I was so like emotionally exhausted that I really needed some time. So last night I was spending time with family and time got away from me. Just me being honest and transparent. I was with family. We were just talking, we were hanging out, you know, the distractions were pouring in, you know. And so it really became super hard to focus. And the next thing I know, it's like I didn't know it was 9 something then, but I got really tired. I went and took a nap. And when I woke up, it was 11. And I was like, oh my gosh, I missed the live. And I just felt so bad about it. And the adversary was telling me, well, you might as well give up now. Like you missed the day. So that means that you're not gonna make any other days, or you can't do this. See, this is proof, you know, and God was telling me, don't give up. Like, even though you missed the time doesn't mean you have to miss the day. So I left my grandma's house and I went home because I don't live that far. And I still hopped on a live. I still posted instructions for how to do the thing that I said that I was going to do yesterday. I still did a post yesterday, even though I didn't go on here to talk about, you know, the class and things that I was going to be doing. And so for those of you who do want to hop on, it's on my Facebook Live, and it's every night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's in my First Love Yourself group. I will post a link in the description for those of you that want to hop on, that want to join the Zoom, that want to learn more about, you know, being in your purpose. The name of the 30-day thing, or my 30-day live, is 30 days of purpose, because during this time I feel like it's super important to be intentional in serving. This isn't about, you know, just being the biggest baddest person, or, you know, being selfish in this season or in this 30 days. It's about helping others. It's about being intentional. It's about doing whatever it is that God intends for you to do, so he can guide your footsteps, so that you can be on a journey and do all of the things that it is that God sees fit for you to do. So during this time, no matter what happens, I want you to stay focused. Now, yesterday, I heard from the ex, you know, the guy that I really had a hard time getting over. I saw him. I, the one guy that, you know, I was interested in, you know, that thing, like, heard from him. Then another guy that, that I heard of, you know, was there. And there were some situations that it was like, oh, this isn't my character. Like, this isn't what I want to do in life. And like they really were like, it just seemed like the adversary was pulling out all the stops. He was trying to make me like miss the live date. He was trying to pour in every person that I could be interested in, any person that I, you know, knew of, that seemed like they could be, you know, a person that, like I said, a person I could be interested in or something like that. All of those people. I mean, it it wasn't just the one person. It wasn't just two people. It wasn't just like three people. It was literally like four or five different people. And then on top of that, it was like compromising situations for like two of the people. And I'm just like, I wouldn't put myself in that situation. But the adversary, it seemed like God was testing to show, like, hey, I'm still faithful to him. And the adversary was testing me to try to make me fall, you know? And, you know, I knew the distractions were going to come, but I had no idea that I was going to have to lay my grandfather to rest and have to deal with several distractions all in the same day. Like, I was emotionally drained yesterday. And I know it could seem like an excuse, which is why I was like hesitant to say anything about it before, because I didn't want people to think I was just making excuses for not coming through, for not showing up, for not doing the things that I said that I was going to do. It's never my intention to just go and say I'm going to do something and not to do what I say I'm going to do. I almost always, and I don't want to say always because I'm pretty sure there's a time in the past where I have not done something, but it hasn't been intentional. I would not intentionally say I'm going to do something and not do it. Usually it's got to be some kind of big, huge thing that comes up or something that happens that caused me to not be able to do it. And usually I'm really great at communicating, hey, this is going on. And when I was spending time with God earlier yesterday, I was really thinking, okay, I could just say, hey, this is what's happening, post out the thing, and then just say I will be back on tomorrow. That's what I was going to do. And I'm sorry, I it's probably distracting seeing me a little different because when I go out to work out, I just have my hair in the braids, and I always wear a hat just because it protects me from the sun and everything else. And one thing that I didn't know is that when you go outside, like, I don't know if it's all hair textures, but with my type of hair, I have to put like water and moisturizer on it before I go for a walk because the sun will dry out your hair and it can cause breakage. So I have conditioner and water in my hair, which is why I usually put it in the braids. That way, after I take a shower and everything, because of the sun, usually it will dry it out for the most part because I don't just like wash it. I usually damp it. I like spritz it, or I'll put like water in my hands and I'll just put it on it, and then I'll take some conditioner and I'll do like this, to get it in my hair. And then when I'm walking, it usually is almost dry. I take a shower and I get out, and then it's pretty much dry. So I'll either wear my hair open like this or I'll put it in some sort of style. But that's what I usually do. It just helps protect it. So, the next time God tells me, hey, it's going to be a lot, there's going to be a lot of things that you're doing, you need to just do a post. You need to just either hop on now or say, hey, this is what's going on. Just to be real with the audience so they know, like, I'm about what I say I'm going to do. I don't want anyone to ever get the impression that I'm just a person who is all talk and no action, or I'm the type of person who will say I will do something and not come through. And I have been learning in this season to be real with my emotions. Like, if I'm in a compromising situation, I need to stand on what I believe in. I need to be honest with myself, honest with another person, and tell them, hey, this is not what I want. I don't have to just try to fake it. I don't have to try to make something happen. I don't have to try to be something that I'm not. All I need to be is what God intends for me to be. And while you're going through the season, while you're focused on your purpose, I think it is so important for you to remember why you're doing this. I think it's so important for you to understand that, hey, this is something that I really want to do. This is the reason why I want to do this is because of blah. You know, I think it's so important for you to know that even though there will be distractions, you can beat this. You can do anything. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You don't have to ever feel like something is too big for God, because God is bigger than anything that you could ever go through. So for me, I have to really put on, I really got to stand in faith. I got to stand on what I believe in, and I have to be honest with the people around me. If it's a guy, regardless of how interested I am or not am in him, I need to let him know where my heart is. I need to let him know where my mind is. If, like, for example, if I know that I want to travel the world and I meet someone who says I'm content staying where I am, and I'm not good with somebody traveling, then I need to just be honest. I might like the person, they might be a good person, but they're probably not the person for me if that's my intention in life, if that's what God placed on my heart for me to do. And I'm not saying that one person traveling and one person staying can't work. I'm just saying that you need to be real with yourself and real with people around you and real with the people that you are getting to know, or whatever else, or that you meet, or that you date, or whatever else, because you being honest with yourself is going to help you in the long run. The truth shall make you free. You know, it's so, right now, while I'm being vulnerable, It is just, I don't want to say it's difficult to do the right thing. It's easy to do the right thing. It's like, so this morning, just for me to be real, I was literally like feeling some type of way and just like, God, I need you to make this choice for my life. And I know it sounds weird, and I know you're probably thinking, well, God is giving you this test because he wants you to make the best decision, and I understand that. But some decisions in my life are really difficult to make because it's the thing that I really want, and I know that it's something that God doesn't want me to have. I know it's not something that God would say that I need in my life. It's something that would distract me. It's something that's not aligned with my purpose. And it's just like it's difficult for me sometimes to make those decisions because the adversary will really make those things look real good. You know, like he's not going to tempt you with uh, a burnt up piece of something off the trash. He's gonna probably tempt you with your favorite food. He's probably gonna try to tempt you with the guy that you're crazy about, or the ex who was the one but you messed it up. Or he's gonna try to tempt you with that thing that you so desperately want. And when I say desperate, I don't really like to use the word desperate because I don't want to make people feel a certain type of way. But know that desperate means wanting something more than you want the respect or the honor for yourself. It means wanting something so badly that you're willing to compromise your integrity, your dignity, your self respect. It means wanting something so badly that you feel like you have to do it over what God does. You know, that's what I mean by desperate. I don't mean that any person needs those things. I mean, it's what we want. And because we want those things, we make it be us. We make that everything when God is our everything, you know? And that ties into idolization. We can idolize those things over what it is that God wants for our life. And I think it's so important for us to realize what's most important, why we are doing this. That's why yesterday I made a post and I put, I want you today to think about why you really are doing this. I want you to think about what is the reason behind the things that you're trying to do in the world to change the world. Like what is it that God placed on your heart for you to do? What is your purpose? What is the things that you feel like you're directed to do, that you know that this is why I was here? And for some people, it's going to be difficult because you're going to be like, well, I don't know what my purpose is. I do all of these things. I like all of these things. If you have trouble, take some time with God. Ask Him how He wants to use you. Because one of the things that made it difficult for me to find my purpose in the beginning was I was doing the things that I wanted to do. I wasn't doing what God wanted me to do. And so I would spend a lot of time just doing what I wanted, picking who I wanted, being where I wanted to be. And until I gave up control, until I released that, like I just have to have my hands in everything kind of approach, God wasn't able to come in until I released that. God wasn't able to step in until I released that, until I did the things that God wanted me to do and not what I wanted to do. So, really take some time with God. Really think about what it is that you feel like, because you are there, because you are in this situation, even in your family, you see something wrong and everybody else just is okay with it. You're the person that's going to change it. That's your purpose. You do something in life, you're with your friends and your friends are okay doing this one thing and you're just like, but that doesn't even make any sense. Like, why would they want to do this? This is what, and you feel it in your spirit and your soul, like this is just not right. It's probably your job to change that. It'll be something as simple as that, and you overlook it because you just feel crazy. You feel different. You feel like, well, if I'm the only person that feels this way, then maybe it's not right. But you're the person that feels that way because you're the person purpose for it. You're the person who's supposed to change it. So I'm going to get off here because I wanted this to be quick, and I just finished working out, so I got to go take a shower. I got a couple more things I want to do around the house first. So I definitely have to do laundry. I mean, I got to water the plants that have been starving. I got to clean out the car that, like, I just got a lot of stuff. that I really have to get done today. And I gotta put on my big girl pants, and just go at it. I gotta speak up for myself. I gotta stand up for myself. And although it's uncomfortable, some of the best work that God does is in the uncomfortability zone, is when you're uncomfortable. God can grow me. He can show me how to be a better person. He can use me in different areas when I'm willing to be uncomfortable. If I'm just ready to just stay exactly where I am and just settle for anything, then I can't get what God has for me. And every person that comes into my life will not get the best version of me, you know. So I would be doing a disservice to this world if I didn't stand for something. Because, like my old saying says, if you don't stand up for something, you will lay down for anything. And you can't be that type of person. You have to be willing to stand on what it is that you believe in, what it is that God placed on your heart for you to do. Because God can use anybody. And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to be better. And God will use that. So allow Him to use you in any way that He sees fit. Not your will, but His will be done. So that He can use you to be a vessel, an oracle for the kingdom. He can use your life, your marriage, your whatever it is that you are, whoever you are right now in this season. He can use that to bless somebody else. And that's why we're here, to bless others, to help others, to serve others, to be intentional. So just continue to do the best that you can. You're not going to be perfect. You see all the distractions that I had to face in one day. And every time, every time there's a bunch of distractions, I'm like, whatever God is about to do in my life is so big. The adversary is so threatened that he really wanted to use one of my weakest points to try to just distract me and deter me from what it is that I need to do on this earth. I mean, he really came at me super hard yesterday. And it's so funny because I was like, okay, well, my granddad, he was incredible, compassionate, helped. He could help you with anything. He was happy as long as everybody else was happy. And just a great guy, you know. And oof, he will definitely be missed. And doing that already was like, okay, God is with me. He's my strength in this moment. And I know that God got him. I know that he's in a better place with God. Because, being in God is nothing like being in God's presence. And being able to do it 24/7 is absolutely amazing. You know? So I understand that. And I was still missing. And it's funny because I wasn't crying at first. And God was like, it's okay to cry. Like, I know that you understand that he's with me. I know that you understand that he will be okay. But it's okay to feel. You don't have to be strong. I can be your strength when you're weak. You're going to emote. You're going to feel emotions. It's normal. And I was like, okay. And, that it wasn't tough because I knew that he was in a better place. I knew that God got him, you know? And then seeing the guy that it was really difficult to let go of, it was just like, okay, well, you know, that's not going to be a thing regardless anyway. So, and why would I ever want to be with anybody who doesn't want me, you know? Or, and I'm not saying that like that's what he said or anything like that. I'm just saying that, you know, there are certain things that I would want that I know that he would never be able to do, you know? So we just wouldn't be a good fit. And it's not to trash him, it's not to trash me, it's not any of those things. It's just knowing the truth, knowing a fact, And So even that was just like, okay, great, whatever. Then another guy who I was interested in, and it's just like, okay, like, is this a setup? And then the ex, and then another guy, and it's just like, okay, God, I could probably deal with one. I could probably deal with two things. I could probably even deal with three things, but not five things. Like, and I just called on God in my area of weakness. I think it's so important for us to be real about the struggles that we face instead of trying to make it seem like we got this. No, God got this. I don't got anything without God. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sit here and pretend to be perfect. I just can't do that. I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes. I have flaws. I am weak just like everybody else. We all fall short just like everybody else. But I don't want to intentionally fall short. And while I'm struggling today because I want to make the best decisions for my life and the life that God intended for me to live, like, I want God's will, not my will, to be done. I might like somebody, but if it's not God, I don't want it. I might be interested in someone, but if it's not God, I don't want it. I might want this job, but if it's not God, I don't want it. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And it's not an easy decision at all. It's never easy to choose what God wants over what you want. You might want what God wants for you, but there will still be things that will be tempting in your life. And I think it's so important for you to be honest with yourself and say, "Hey God, I'm struggling here." So he can help you. He can't help you if you're pretending like everything is fine. He can't help you if you're pretending like you got this. No, God got this. Lean on God. He is there for a reason. He's not expecting you to be God of anything. He's expecting you to call on him so that he can help you. So let him do that. And in conclusion, figure out what it is that your purpose is. Figure out what it is that you see that needs to be changed that nobody else recognizes. Figure out what it is that comes easy to you that not everybody can do, but you just say, oh, everybody does that. That's what I used to do. Oh, everybody writes. Everybody does this thing. Everybody does that. And God was saying, no, I graced you for that. I blessed you. I appointed you to be able to do that, not someone else. Yes, there are others who can do something similar, but the way that I'm going to use you is different because your journey is different than everybody else's. Everybody's journey is different. We could have the same scenario, and God could use me differently than He can use the next person. you know? So I think it's really important for us to be real with ourselves. I'm struggling in this moment. I really am. And I would like to pretend like it's easy. I would like to pretend like, oh yeah, I don't have no problems at all. Oh yeah, I just cut people off. I just do this. I just do that. I don't want this job anyways. Like, no, I wanted the job. I really did want the job. But God said this job wasn't for me. I wanted the guy who I was crazy about. But God said this guy is not for me. And it's not easy letting those things go. And we have to be real with ourselves and real with God so God can help us. When we say we are struggling, when we say we have a hard time with something, God can help us. Why not reach out to God when you know that he can help you? Don't make it harder on yourself for no reason. I literally spent some time earlier just like, God, I just give it to you. Like, I don't know what to do in this moment. I really feel weak. I feel like I want to do the wrong thing. I don't want to do the wrong thing. It feels like it's easy to do the wrong thing. It feels like it's something that's pulling me in the wrong direction. And I want to stay focused. I want to continue doing what it is that God wants me to do. And it's not easy. So, in this moment, I'm just putting it in God's hands. I'm calling on God because I know He can be my strength when I'm weak. And He can be yours too. Allow God to carry that burden for you. Because though it tarries, it will not tarry. Everything God promised you will come to pass. You have to be patient and wait. We're the ones that make it not tarry. because we don't want to be patient, because we want things right now. And God's saying, you're not ready. God's saying this thing isn't for you. God is saying that you have to stay focused. And if you need help, if you're struggling in this moment, call on God. And if you have questions or you need a person to reach out to, DM me, PM me on Facebook, comment below this, and I will help you any way that I can. Have a good day and continue to